Greetings, petrolheads. Welcome back to Automation, the car company tycoon game. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Athena VL1. V stands for van. So yes, this is a large van and it's first generation. Now for the 80s, I think it looks actually a little bit... It looks more modern than the 80s, doesn't it? It doesn't... It looks more in late 90s-esque, I think. Maybe it's just because like utility cars usually look a little bit older than they actually are. See like those sort of minivans that they produce today, like or the Mercedes Sprinter stuff like that from 5 years ago looked like 15 years old or something. And it's kind of the opposite with this. This looks newer than it actually is, I think. In any case, now I had to make a decision here. If I went for the ladder chassis, I would have been able to go with like steel, corrosion resistant steel, but I think because like we make all other cars with space frames. Like we already know how to make space frames, and like we don't need to apply different techniques and technology to make this car if we make it with a space frame. So I think that's what that's the better choice here, even though it may sound a little bit weird on a van. Aesthetically, we did apply the new front fascia of Athena as well. And on the rear we did something different. Let's just face it, I don't think there's any way to really make this rear end look good. But hey, it does the job, it's functional. You get extra reverse lights to make it even that more apparent when you're driving in reverse, which is kind of meaningful in a car this large, I guess. And yeah, just those taillights here and then indicators underneath. So what do we got engine-wise? This is a 4.5 liter version of the Rodos V8. It is 225 horsepower strong. It is detuned a little bit, only revs to 5,300. Basically in the quest for more reliability. And I think for that reason we're also going to put a little bit of quality into the fuel system. You see that it increases the reliability quite significantly. And then we can of course also do this a little bit, change that downwards. Well, if we go lower on the ignition timing, then we will actually make the torque later? What? But if we go higher, we will also make it later. So you know what, let's just leave it the same here. And instead, lower this by 1 point? By another one? No. Let's leave it like this then. 225 horsepower, very flat torque curve. And yeah. 4-speed automatic, because, yeah, well, I don't think I need to explain why this doesn't have a manual. And the spacing is such that it goes to 100 kilometers an hour in second gear. We have no wheel spin at all, because this is all-wheel drive with a 50-50 split. All-wheel drive because, well, just to make it that much more drivable, that much easier to handle, that much well, more convenient, because this is obviously aimed towards being a family car. We have 205s up front, 225s on the rear. I wanted to make the same tire width on both ends, just to make it a little bit more practical, so you can put, like when you change tires, you could put the rear ones on the front or something, depending on the condition of the tires on both ends. You know what I mean, they're just interchangeable, which is no longer the case if we do this. But yeah, this makes it a lot more drivable. And drivable it really is. It's 58.6. That's, I think, one of the highest scores I've ever gotten in drivability. Vented discs front and rear, of course. No under tray, because why would you have an under tray on this one? A lot of cooling airflow, like quite a bit more than required, just to make sure that, you know, no hot summer day is ever gonna be overheating this engine. And even if you drive it in like the Sahara, which you could with an off-road score like this, especially if you put in like an automatic lock or a manual locker, then off-road goes up to 31.6. But I think the geared LSD is just better for drivability. And then we have 8 seats, so 2 in the first row, 3 in the second row, 3 in the back. And then we have handmade interior as always. So there's going to be quite a lot of work to be done on the inside of this car. This has luxury entertainment as well. And then this is the first car to have ABS on the Athena lineup, just to make it that much safer, you know. If I get this off, actually safety doesn't change, but drivability does. And advanced safety it has as well. Hydropneumatic springs, no surprises there. And it has pretty low emissions. Economy is better than I expected as well. Reliability is solid. And then the quarter mile time is, you know, not going to be super fast. But it will do it in 17 seconds. And that's not bad. I mean, certainly better than like a Fiat Multipla or something like that. So, yeah. I guess there is that. And then there is also one more version of this, which has the same engine and a lot of other things in common. But this is supposed to be an ambulance car. Therefore it's white. And well, it has a different body in that it has the sort of roof box on top. And yeah, because like back here there's all open space, it only has 3 seats. It has 3 seats up front. And well, apart from that, like the engine is the same. So with that, it has a 4-speed automatic just like the other one. Everything on here is literally the same. And then because we have 5 less seats, this weighs quite a lot less. And therefore it'll do 0 to 100 in 7.6 seconds. Yep, quarter mile in 16.1. So it's considerably quicker than the family version, which is good for an ambulance car, right? Because when it's between life and death, every second counts. That's what I've always said about ambulance cars, and that's why I've never understood why they drive like, you know, Volkswagen 2.2 liter diesel engines with like 140 horsepower or something like that. Yeah. So that is our idea of an ambulance car. We actually gotta go back and check the VL, and the other is actually not capitalized here for whatever reason. Just a typing mistake. Gotta check how this does on the market. Luxury GT Premium. It is pretty expensive because it is a large vehicle with 8 seats and handmade interior. So that's where your money goes in this one. However, if you have a family and some money, there's basically no other car. If you have a big family and a decent amount of money, then this is your car. If you want just one car, if you want multiple cars, well, even then, this is a really practical car for, you know, well, big families for moving lots of people. And I just think that maybe there's a place on the market for this. It's a pretty niche market, if it does exist. But I can see some richer families buying something like this. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.